Hello everyone! Today, I'm going to discuss to you a sample problem regarding the segmented income statement of Millard Corporation. So, let's begin! The first requirement is to determine the disadvantages or weakness of the Millard Corporation. First weakness is their company has forgot to create a column showing the combined results of the three regions. Second, corporate costs are likely to be shared across regions and should not be distributed randomly. Lastly, the regional expenditures aren't separated into variable and fixed categories. Next, the second requirement of the problem is to explain the basis that is apparently being used to allocate the corporate expenses to each region. And do I agree with these allocations? Explain. The corporate advertising expenses have been allocated on the basis of sales dollars, and the G&A expenses have been allocated evenly among the three regions. Disagree with that. Why? Such allocations can be misleading to management because they seem to imply that these expenses are caused by the segments to which they have been allocated. After allocating common expenditures, the net operating income or net loss should not be used to evaluate a segment's performance, and the segment margin should be used to evaluate a segment's result. So for the third requirement, we're going to prepare a new contribution format segmented income statement for May. Show a total column as well as data for each region. In addition, for the company as a whole and for each sales region, show each item on the segmented income statement as a percent of sales. So to start the segmented income statement, we are going to input the corresponding values for sales of each region and compute for its total. Next, variable expenses in the statement are the cost of goods sold and the shipping expenses. The variable expenses are deducted from sales to yield the contribution margin for the segment. The contribution margin tells us what happens to profits as volume changes, holding a segment's capacity and fixed cost constant. The contribution margin is especially used in decisions involving temporary uses of capacity such as special orders. Next, we will be deducting all the traceable fixed costs to the contribution margin to get the segment margin per region. Last step is to compute for the total common fixed expenses, which is the advertising and general and administrative expenses, and deduct it from the total regional segment margin to determine the net income or loss of the company. After all the computation, the Millard Company garnered a net loss of $83,500. Now, we're going to compute the segmented income statement as a percent of sales. So I will be doing a vertical analysis to show the percent of sales. Now, we're going to present the last question for this problem, and that is the areas of improvement for the Millard Corporation. Sales in the West are much lower than in the other two regions. Why? The West is spending about half as much for advertising as the Central region, and that is the main reason for the West lower sales. The East apparently is selling a large amount of low-margin items. It has a contribution margin ratio of only 46% compared to the 60% or more for the other two regions. The East appears to be overstaffed. Salaries are greater than in either of the other two regions. All three regions' salespeople seem to be paid on a salary basis, perhaps switching to a commission-based sales model will inspire salespeople to be more aggressive and boost more sales. So, thank you for listening, and I hope you learned a lot from the presentation of segmented income statement problem. Peace.